Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this presentation of CBL basketball on the Coliseum Sports Network. We are over in Jolly, England at the O2 Arena in London for today's matchup between the Lehigh Valley Jets and the London Bulldogs. Glad that you could join us here today. I'm Raymond Sims here on the call for the final game of Week 2 of action here in the Coliseum Basketball League. Happy Sunday to all of you at home. So London, coming off of a 40-point defeat in Omaha, lost 121-81 at the hands of those Omaha Racers. So for their home opener, I'm guessing that they're going to try to at least end this game a little closer than a minus 40 margin of defeat. It'll be Joel Freeland and Kenyon Martin ready to tip things off. And we are underway from London, England. Glad you could join us here. First home game for the Bulldogs. We have already gone international, starting off, or on Friday at least, starting off the week in Mexico City. The Las Vegas Silver Stars were able to get their first win of the year. No field goals yet, as Kelenna Azubuike steals the ball, gets it up ahead to Luol Deng. Going baseline, hands it off underneath. Bledsoe goes up, draws the foul. And there it is, the first CBL score inside of the O2 Arena. First point on English, on European soil, however you want to slice it. History made by Eric Bledsoe. He'll see if he could make more by leading the Bulldogs to their first win of the season. He misses the and one opportunity. Now Lehigh Valley has a chance to strike back, getting the win last week over Kansas City on the road. They won't be seeing the friendly confines of the PPL Center until Thursday when they host Omaha. But in the meantime, they got to hold the ball better as they lose the ball again in the high post. Mirotic down to Freeland, back out to Bledsoe. Mirotic goes up, gets the shot, and another and one opportunity for the Bulldogs, this time for Nikola Mirotic. Mirotic on a familiar continent. Citizen of Montenegro. Down in the Baltic states, able to finish off the three-point play. Just finished up his rookie year with the Chicago Bulls, his NBA rookie year. He's been pro for a while. Drafted in 2008. Here's DeRozan, missing off the back rim, collected by Williams. And Lehigh Valley off to a rough start here. Offense stagnates, but he gets it up top to Kobe. That's usually the best way to go when you're in doubt. So let's see Kobe set up here against Kelenna Azubuike. Can't get past him, but is able to find Kenyon Martin to drive in for the layup. And there is Lehigh Valley's first points of the game. 5-2 early going here in London. Ball to Mirotic. Bumped by Faried, back up top to Bledsoe. Going inside, and is able to get by Williams, but can't finish off the shot. After some volleying, it ends up in the hands of DeRozan. DeRozan trying to get inside. Against Deng, hands it off to Martin. Here's Williams. Deron going inside. Scoop layup is good, and the foul. So we're parading to the free throw line here early on both sides. Deron Williams finishes up his 10th season in the NBA. Came into the league off of a Final Four appearance. He wasn't even the lead guy on his team. That was D. Brown back at the time. But Deron Williams is the one that ended up breaking out and becoming the NBA star. 5-4 London. Got off to a quick start, 5-0 there, but have since been unable to answer back as Lehigh Valley is crawled back down by one. Opportunity to take the lead here. Here comes Williams up the floor. Pass to DeRozan. He'll pull up. Mid-range jumper gives Lehigh Valley their first lead of the game. Under 9 here, opening quarter from London. You may have noticed Kelenna Azubuike starting at the shooting guard position in place of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Mirotic gonna have to put up the 3 over Williams. Height advantage, still can't convert a 3. Good contest though by Deron Williams. Didn't let the height bother him. He put his hand up anyway. He was able to get Mirotic to be off. Here's DeRozan, gets past Azubuike. He can't finish the runner. Here comes London up the floor. Bledsoe, bounce pass to the opposite side. Azubuike, fadeaway jumper. No good. Pulled down by Martin. And that DeRozan pass intended for Williams goes over his head for a turnover. London setting up the offense here. 7:51 left in the first. In the corner, Azubuike, that's a 2. Yes, it is. It was scored a 2. But it does give the Bulldogs the lead back. 7-6. It's 7:36 left in the first. Bryant, down low Martin. Couple of pump fakes. Martin leaves the post. Here's Williams. He'll put it up. Instead, misses. Rebound by Faried. He goes up, draws contact. And say it with me, he'll get the shot in the foul. Bernard James getting his first run in the game. 7:14 left in the first quarter. Kenneth Faried at the line for Lehigh Valley was a major part of the victory over Kansas City thanks to his rebounding prowess. He was able to knock down the free throw. 11 points, 14 rebounds out of the Manimal from Newark, New Jersey. Able to finish off the three-point play, so Lehigh Valley up by 2. Bledsoe and the Bulldogs looking to tie things up. Double screen, he'll go left, finds nothing, he's still stuck. Kicks it over in the corner, Deng. And that's a long 2, ties the game back at 9. Shooting pretty even early on here. Here's Williams up the floor, guarded by Azubuike. Bounce pass to DeRozan. Down low, Bryant under the basket. Can't leave him open. And I'm very surprised that Kobe would be that open under the basket. But there he is, giving Lehigh Valley the 2-point lead. Here's Deng up top. Ball reverses. Azubuike for 3. He got it! And an opportunity for a 4-point play. Wow. Azubuike eyeing Kobe Bryant, drawing the foul. And if he can make his free throw, he can pull off the 4-point play to give London the 2-point lead. They were just down by 2 a minute ago, and now they're up 2. I think it was in Mexico City on Friday. I was just happened to be wondering to myself, we haven't seen any 4-point plays yet in the league. Hold that thought. There's an alley-oop. Kobe redeeming himself. Ties the game off the hoop from Williams to Kobe. But I was saying to myself, we haven't seen a 4-point play in the league yet. I know we haven't gotten completely 2 weeks in. And lo and behold, here it is. Had to go to London, pick up some frequent flyer miles. Martin getting the turnover on the run. Bounce pass ahead to Bryant. He's going to force it in off the backboard and in, going baseline. Oh, the energy is picked up here in London, both for the Jets and for the Bulldogs, but it's Lehigh Valley leading by 2 with 5:46 left in the first. This is going to shape up to be a good game, so be sure to like this video. And if you want more CBL action, be sure to subscribe to the Coliseum Sports Network. This is game 8 of 40 regular season games, and anywhere between 6 and 10 playoff games. I actually have to recheck my math there. But all the same, some extra playoff games down the line as well. So you might as well subscribe, because we're going to have a lot more amazing basketball action down the line here in the Coliseum Basketball League. London's down by 2. Shot clock running down. Mirotic high post shot, no good. Rebound, Bernard James under the basket, and he draws the foul. Ref's not afraid to blow the whistle so far today. Bernard James, big man out of Florida State. At the line, he's going to shoot 2. And the first one goes in. Bernard James, currently a free agent, native of Savannah, Georgia. Spent all 3 years of his NBA career in the Dallas Mavericks system, even though there were some stints with the D-League's Texas Legends there in 2014. He's also played in China. Probably going to have to find another overseas contract, not counting the one where he's playing for a team in England. Converts on both free throws, makes it a 15-all game with just over 5 minutes left in the first frame. Kobe sizing up, going to work. Kicks it back out to Williams, though. He'll work around to DeRozan, who misses, pulled down by Deng. Deng tries to get the opening, gets it ahead to James, bounces off the back rim, gets his own shot, puts it back up. Bernard James playing a role of the cleaner. Bryant, fadeaway jumper. No good, pulled down by Chandler Parsons, who just came into the game. Here's Giannis Antetokounmpo, 8 points in that loss to Omaha. Stuart Gibbs wanting a little more defense. And even though Antetokounmpo has a lot of length, Gibbs feeling that Azubuike has the better on-ball defense. Eric Bledsoe pretty much drives his way out of bounds. Reinforcements coming in on both sides. Dennis Schroeder, who had a reduced role in Game 1. I talked with Stuart Gibbs, said he was going to give Dennis Schroeder more time. There's just a little bit of a log jam down there at guard between the point guards and shooting guards and those that can play both. Trying to figure that out. But Gibbs, very confident. He's got a good handle on it moving forward. Doesn't feel that that's the reason they lost to Omaha. He just felt that was just a huge lack of preparedness and execution. Phil Pressey in the game, able to fight his way through. Young man out of Missouri. Game tied at 17 here from London. Here's Schroeder operating. Calls the play, gets it to Giannis. Can't do anything with it, works it back to Schroeder. Time running out, gets it to Parsons in the nick of time, and he's able to knock down the long two. Gibbs admitting it's hard to have Chandler Parsons sitting on the bench playing as a bit of a sixth man, considering how good he is in the eyes of Stuart Gibbs. But with Luol Deng being the British citizen and, of course, producing well, and Giannis Antetokounmpo figuring himself out, Nikola Mirotic providing what he does coming into the game, Gibbs just felt he had to make the hard decisions. But he is flexible, willing to move his lineup as each game dictates. London leading by 2. Long shot missed by Mo Harkless. 2.5 left in the opening frame. Here's Dante Exum. Exum kicks it over Schroeder. Corner 3. Not quite. Rebound by Mo. Harkless had a very rough season with Orlando. He's been regressing almost each year that he's been in the NBA, and he's going to have to figure that out in Portland after some time in Orlando to start off his career. Schroeder fouls Gerald Green on the baseline, so Gerald Green will go to the line. Gerald Green, a man that's not afraid to put it up. He was able to score 20 off of the bench, 20 points in 19 minutes of play to aid Lehigh Valley in their victory. Jeffrey Seymour, head coach for Lehigh Valley, said that's exactly what they want Gerald Green to do when he comes off of the bench. And he's able to knock down both to tie the game 19. So Coach Seymour absolutely excited about Gerald Green and what he can bring off the bench for Lehigh Valley. And Green pretty happy with the role as well. As Exum is fouled by Harkless, first foul. But that does put London in the bonus. So Exum's at the line here. And the first shot, no good. He was the roving guard against Omaha. And even though it was a big loss, Exum actually did pretty good, leading all scorers with 17 points. So Coach Gibbs said he was going to definitely keep an eye on Exum and how he figures into the game plan depending on the lineups that he sets. Here's Green for Lehigh Valley, London, with a 1-point lead off of the foul shot by Exum, but Green able to give Lehigh Valley the 2-point lead off the tray of his own. Antetokounmpo with the ball. Kyle Anderson facing up in the post. But they'll go the other direction, reverse the ball around. And they're going to bring it back here. Pulls up, baseline jumper, no good. Here's Pressey. To Green. Creates a little space, puts up the shot, and misses. Schroeder with the board. Here's Schroeder going inside, kicks it back out on Antetokounmpo. Greek and German playing the two-man game, but ends up finishing off with the Floridian. Parsons slow to get up. Hopefully he's all right. Yep, there he goes. He's fine. Here's Green. Fade away just outside the post, and he had a lot of contact there. He had Exum's arms all over him, and in the end, still able to convert. Parsons up top. Exum for 3. No good. Final seconds here of the quarter. It's been an amazing back-and-forth game. Green fighting inside, lays it up and in. It was almost child's play against Dante Exum. 5.9 seconds here, 26-22. And right at the buzzer. 5/10 remaining, but essentially the buzzer. Don't think there'll be enough time to get anything going. So just like that, we have a barn burner here from London. Hope you guys enjoy it. Don't go anywhere. Lehigh Valley leading 26-24 here on the Coliseum Sports Network. Welcome back to the O2 Arena in London. 26-24, the visitors with a slight lead over London as we close out week 2 of action. London comes into this game 0-1. Lehigh Valley technically in first place in the East at 1-0, as Kansas City and Omaha are at a 1-1 stalemate. So a London victory. Alley-oop! And there it is to Jeremy Evans. Lehigh Valley with all the athletic dunkers on the squad, and Phil Pressey and Deron Williams making the passes. There'll be a mini lob city here for 10 games out there in southeastern Pennsylvania. Here's Parsons, good off ball. Cross-court pass, Exum, floater from the baseline is good. But as it stands currently, Kansas City and Omaha tied at 1-1. A win for London would have everybody in the Eastern Conference tied at 1-1. That's already happened in the Western Conference, coming off of the 2 Western Conference games this week. So we could possibly end up in a scenario where all 8 teams are 1-1. Exum underneath, Freeland laying it in. Freeland not returning to the NBA next season, but as he makes the transaction before he plays in Europe in the fall, he's representing his country, and he's doing it well as he helps his team tie it up at 28 with 10:42 left in the second. Be sure to subscribe to the Coliseum Sports Network here on YouTube for more CBL action. Our next game is this coming Thursday. It'll be these Lehigh Valley Jets at home for the first time this season, hosting the Omaha Racers, who scored 121 and won by 40 in week 1, and then score 117 but still lose in week 2. We'll see what Lehigh Valley has to say about them in front of their home crowd. That'll be Thursday here on the Coliseum Sports Network. Jeremy Evans goes up and draws the shooting foul. It'll be the first on Chandler Parsons. Seen a lot of fouling going on in the first quarter, and yet this is the first team foul for London in this quarter. Jeremy Evans, without a doubt, a leaper, but is a power forward, a bit undersized, and just a little too lanky, and that's really held him back from a lot of big-time opportunities in the NBA. He was let go by Utah after he was essentially phased out by the new head coach Quinn Snyder, which happens. The NBA is a business, but now he's going to try to get another chance with the Dallas Mavericks to prove his worth. And he's also doing what he can to help the cause for the Lehigh Valley Jets. Misses the second free throw, 29-28, with 10:15 left here in the second quarter. Pass to Freeland. He'll go up, and we will parade to the line again. That's a foul on Kenyon Martin, and that's the Jets' first team foul of the quarter. So Joe Freeland not returning to the NBA after a couple of years with the Portland Trail Blazers. He's going to sign with CSKA Moscow, world-renowned EuroLeague team, for a world-renowned Russian team that tends to find themselves in the EuroLeague quite often. He's a part of a nice crop of British players that have developed a love of basketball over the years. He's able to knock down the second free throw as well. And there's a whole group of them: Matthew Bryant, Amity, Pops Mensah-Bonsu, Luol Deng, who's Sudanese but has British citizenship. Shot missed by Evans. Rebound by Parsons. Here's Schroeder, goes inside. He is not afraid, but can't come out with the 2. Here comes Lehigh Valley, rushing it the other way. Harkless, stopped baseline, kicked out Pressey. He'll shoot it from just behind the free throw line. Lehigh Valley takes the lead up by 1. Tries to get the pass down low to Freeland. Stolen. Here comes Lehigh Valley. Ross ahead. And the jam by Maurice Harkless. There were 3 athletic Jets just running down the floor. I was on bated breath wondering what was going to happen next. Ross able to use his vision to find Harkless, who was able to hammer it down. And that's enough for Stuart Gibbs to call timeout for London. 33-30 with 9:06 left in the second quarter. Freeland inbounding here for London. Trying to find somebody. There's Chandler Parsons finally coming out. Working on the perimeter up top, Schroeder. Schroeder in a holding pattern. Works it inside. Here's Freeland. Over the outstretched hands of Kenyon Martin. Martin didn't want to draw the foul. Just put his hands up, contest the shot. And that still didn't work out. 33-32, Lehigh Valley with a slim lead here. 8:36 left in the second quarter. Pressey works it over to Ross. Ross trying to find a way inside. Kicks it out. Three-pointer for Ross. Missed into the hands of Schroeder. Schroeder at the point for London. Ball over to Mirotic. Posting up. Fadeaway jumper, Mirotic. In and out and into the hands of Pressey. Here comes Lehigh Valley. They're on the run. They always are. And Pressey trying to force the issue under the basket. And he's rewarded with a foul. He was fighting his way in there, and I was particularly concerned that Pressey was maybe going in with too much of a head of steam. And that he was going to be very disappointed with the shot coming back in his face. And it did to an extent, but he was able to draw the contact and the foul. So it all works out in the end for Lehigh Valley. He makes the first one, so it's 34-32 with 8:01 in the second. Second shot's just as good, 35-32. We reached the 8-minute mark here in the second quarter. It's been close. There hasn't been any budging. I believe the largest lead has been about 4, if that, as Schroeder just sails in for the layup. There's no budging between the two teams here as Pressey brings it up the floor for Lehigh Valley. Thought he had an opening. Ross fakes the shot, kicks it over Harkless for the jumper, and he knocks down the three. Here's Anderson at the top. Mirotic trying to fight his way through some screens, manages to get the ball. Puts up the shot from the free throw line, knocks it down. London back within 2. Ross missing, rebound by Schroeder. Kicks it over, Azubuike for 3. Got it! London takes the lead. Ross pivots in the corner, gets past Faried. He was trying to circumnavigate his way into the post, but Freeland ended up called for the reach-in, trying to poke in as Ross was driving. Martin set to inbound. He'll get it to Pressey. Pass to Martin. I don't know if that was intended for Martin, but he has it anyway. He's fighting, and he misses. Rebound for Reed underneath. That was blocked by I don't know who. That's up to the statistician to figure out. Is London on the run here, up by 1. It's Exum, and he draws the foul. And that'll be the second one on Kenyon Martin. Martin will stay in the game with 2 fouls. Exactly halfway through the second quarter, Parsons inbounding. Gets it back to Azubuike, and Azubuike was not far enough into the backcourt for the refs' liking, so his feet were on the line, and the refs will call backcourt violation. So here's Ross showing Kelenna how it's done. Ross, top of the key, works it over to Harkless. Ross will put up the 3 on his own and sinks it. Lehigh Valley back in front. First field goal of the game made by Terrence Ross. He already put up 3 shots before that. Exum in the corner. That is a 3, and that is a Bulldogs lead yet again. Ross getting the inbound, brings it up the floor for Lehigh Valley. Not a lot of point guarding from Deron Williams, hanging out in the corner. Gets the 3 and misses. Rebound by Azubuike. First rebound of the game for Kelenna, but he's done what he can. He goes baseline and lays it in. So London's lead extends to 3 with under 5 minutes left in the half. Williams up the floor. Works around to Ross. 3-pointer good. Here's Exum. Works it over to Mirotic. Pulls up, misses, and rebound by Martin. Ahead to Ross. Here come the Lehigh Valley Jets. Harkless, the runner, no good. Rebound by Azubuike. Works over to Mirotic. Schroeder pulls up, mid-range shot. Gets London the lead back. Under 4 minutes now in the second quarter. And the Bulldogs shooting above 50%. This week, between the Omaha game and today, it's been all about improvement. It's been all about knowing your opponent. And yet they give up the basket here and the opportunity for one more to Deron Williams. That's Exum called for the infraction. And there's Williams knocking down the and one. And he puts the Jets ahead by 1. Here's Exum. Mirotic open from just outside the elbow. The free throw line extended, I think they like to call it. Gives London the lead. This has been a back and forth game. Neither team has let up. Calls for defense here. Fans want to stop. They want momentum. They want a Bulldogs lead and a Bulldogs win. Martin posting up here over Mirotic, and he'll get the rebound. Exum over to Bledsoe. Bledsoe bumped by DeRozan. Oh, shakes DeRozan and can't make him pay. Rebound by Faried. Pushes it ahead to Williams. Down to the backcourt to Kobe. Kobe gonna go to work here. Gets past Deng. Lays it in. So Lehigh Valley has the 1-point lead now. We'll see how London responds. Cross-court pass, Deng. Back up top, Parsons. Works it around to Exum. Bledsoe trying to go to work against Williams. And attempts to hand it off. Goes past Mirotic. I would presume that's out on London. It is Lehigh Valley ball. Faried will inbound to Williams. 2 minutes remaining here in the first half. And what a half it has been, folks. Bryant in the corner. Tries to hand it off to Faried. Stolen by Exum. Young one snatches from the vet. Bledsoe pulls up, sinks it. London wins the race to 50, and they take a 1-point lead. 1.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Here's Bryant working his way in. He loses the ball on the way up, saved by Parsons. And that will still stay with London. Interesting call. I might have missed something from this angle. But all the same, London getting possession. Azubuike bringing the ball up the floor. Finds an opening, sails in. Unafraid and draws the foul. That'll be Harkless's second.
Kelenna Azubuike. 2 shots.
Azubuike at the line, born in England. Makes the first shot. Puts them ahead by 2. Both teams shooting pretty well at the line. Born in England, went to high school in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Played collegiate ball at Kentucky for 3 years, went undrafted in 2005, but was still able to carve out a 7-year NBA career between the NBA and the D-League. Can't hit the second one, but is able to contest DeRozan's shot on the defensive end. Faried able to get the shot and draw the foul on Bernard James, and that's James's first. 1:02 remaining here in the second quarter. And Faried at the line. Can't get the and one, but can tie the game up at 51 heading into the half. Here's Azubuike. He's going in again. No foul drawn. Kobe comes up with the rebound. Has 8 points now, had 8 points against Kansas City. Bernard James ahead to a cherry-picking Kelenna Azubuike, and London takes the lead. Lead pass to DeRozan, and he can't get it under the basket. So here's London looking to get some momentum heading into the half because neither team has had any. It's really just been trading baskets for almost 24 game minutes. Bledsoe going to work against Harkless. Good D by Harkless. Can he finish the job? He can. Good contest by Mo. And Bledsoe unhappy at the free throw line. And DeRozan going to put up the long shot and miss it. And that is the half. It has been an amazing game, and the home team has the slight edge, 53-51 at the half. Welcome back to London on this beautiful Sunday. If you want the best coverage of the Coliseum Basketball League, be sure to check out the Coliseum Sports Network website, coliseumsportsnet.sportsblog.com, powered by the sportsblog.com network. London has the very, very slight lead, 53-51 here against Lehigh Valley. It has been a good one, back and forth, trading baskets. No one has jumped out to a big lead yet, as DeMar DeRozan starts off the quarter, drawing the foul on Luol Deng, who was able to go without a foul up until this point. and he's able to finish off the three-point play. Makes it 54-53. Kelenna Azubuike had a 4-point play earlier. Here's Mirotic facing up against Faried. Here's Bledsoe. Goes up, blocked by Martin, and that's a shot clock violation. One-point lead here for Lehigh Valley. DeRozan going baseline. He had the opening, it closed out, but he draws the foul for it. And Luol Deng picks up his second foul after getting his first 41 seconds prior. And it's on DeMar DeRozan again. First shot good for DeRozan. Gives Lehigh Valley a 2-point lead. 11:03 left here in the third quarter. Second shot sunk, and Lehigh Valley ahead by 3. In the corner to Azubuike. Works it over Bledsoe. And Kobe reaches out. Draws the foul, his third. Ball inbounded here to Freeland. Over to Mirotic. Mirotic opening. And draws the foul there. He's ecstatic about it as he gets back up. He thought he would have had an easy floater going inside, but instead he'll have to earn his 2 at the line. First shot's good. Second shot just as good. So Mirotic able to get London within 1, 56-55, 10.5 left in the third. Williams lays it up, misses, rebound by Freeland. Gets it over to Bledsoe. Over in the corner to Deng. Bledsoe, long shot is good. And that is a 3. First 3 of the game, and it's knocked down by Eric Bledsoe. Here's DeRozan. Misses the fader. Deng attacks, passes out to Bledsoe. Here's the pass to Mirotic. Facing up, Martin gets a little past him and able to finish. 4-point lead. Is London slowly pulling away, or is it only slight ground gain? Kobe has to kick it out. Williams missing. So if I'm not mistaken, London trying to get on a little run here. A little over 9 minutes here in the third quarter. Works it over to Bledsoe. Gets past Bryant and lays it in. Jeff Seymour going to call timeout here. His team has lost it. They are now suddenly down by 6 with 8:48 left in the third. It's been a great week here for the CBL. If you want to catch any of those games, be sure to check out the Coliseum Basketball League 2015 playlist on the Coliseum Sports Network YouTube channel. Cross-court pass for Deron Williams. Here it is up top to Faried. Works it around to DeRozan. Goes inside, tried to spin. Stolen by Mirotic. Here come the Bulldogs on the run. Ahead to Deng. Fancy layup goes up and in. 8-point lead and an opportunity for one more. Second foul on DeRozan. A little bit of payback there, apparently. Luol Deng got 2 fouls in short order in the first minute of the third quarter. Both of them were trying to defend DeRozan, so now the tables have turned here as Luol Deng will try to put London up by 9, and he does just that. Ball inbounded to Deron Williams. 8.5 left in the third. Bryant knocks down the 3 from the right wing. He's been able to muster up 11, so he surpassed his week 1 score where he had 8 points and nothing more. Here's Mirotic underneath to Freeland and a reach-in foul, and that will be a third on DeRozan. 8.6 rebounds, 10 assists for Kobe. His stat line against Kansas City, which was in contrast to a number of his teammates who actually did pretty well in the win. Turnover by Mirotic. Trying to work baseline, ends up stepping out of bounds. Faried inbounding it for Lehigh Valley. Bryant on the elbow against Antetokounmpo. Williams, he's going in and able to convert. Deficit back down to 4. That 9-point lead that came off of the Luol Deng free throw is the largest lead of the game. Bledsoe kicks it over on Antetokounmpo. Gives it to James. Versus the ball back out to the point. Now Bledsoe trying to go baseline, can't do it. Forces it up, and that's off the top of the backboard. That doesn't reset the shot clock, so there's a violation. Gerald Green in the game for DeRozan. 6:55 left here in the third quarter. London leading by 4. Kobe, fadeaway jumper's good. Deng in the corner. And Bledsoe was trying to figure out something against Faried, and he doesn't have to, as Faried fouls him on the baseline. And London already in the bonus. First free throw made. Back stateside in Phoenix, Eric Bledsoe given free reign, essentially, of the Suns' point guard position. after Goran Dragic and Brandon Knight were traded off. He's been given the same free reign here in London, and in both cases, it's all about what you choose to do with that power. So that's something to look at over the course of this season, very short season. Williams fades, missed, rebound by Bernard James. Hit to Antetokounmpo. And the fadeaway jumper, fancy stuff by Nikola Mirotic. He has 13. Here's Harkless, and he'll miss. Rebound by Deng. Pitches it ahead to Bledsoe. Kicks it back out. Mirotic hands it off to Deng at the point. There's Bledsoe in the key, knocks it down. Shot no good. James sails in for the rebound. Hands it off to Bledsoe. Works it around to Antetokounmpo. Over to Bledsoe. Shot clock running down, missed, and pulled down by DeRozan. Kicks it back out, and Williams, who the pass was intended for, not able to get a hand on it. And that one just bounces out of bounds into the London Bulldogs front court. 71-63, 4:26 left in the third quarter. This game not as back and forth as it was in the first half, as London was able to pull out to a sizable lead. And now they're trying to coast with it here. Seeing if they can carry themselves to their first win of the season. And if they win, the entire league will be 1-1. In that case, let's hear it for parity. Because it'll still be up in the air. Faried goes up, draws the foul. And Faried can't finish off the three-point play, but he's at least able to keep Lehigh Valley within 6. Works it around to Bledsoe. Here's the drive inside, and Kobe called for the foul. His 4th personal foul. It's been a rough 2 games here for Kobe Bryant. You know, coming off of the injury. He hasn't played in a lot of games over the past few seasons due to injuries. He's saying this may be his last year upcoming with the Lakers. But this time with Lehigh Valley, it's supposed to be kind of half rehabilitation, half vacation. And his stats, not looking particularly Kobe-esque. Even in the twilight years, he's still good for scoring 20, regardless of the effect that has in terms of the advanced statistics for the Lakers. There's Kobe driving in, and he's able to get that off. So 15 points, 3 turnovers, but he is 7 of 8 from the field. So maybe it's not so bad after all. But he does have 4 fouls. Got to be careful here down the stretch. Azubuike for 3. Can't knock it down. Rebound by DeRozan. Gerald Green. And Green will sink the 3. Lehigh Valley, they're coming back, and they're within 2. Ball to Freeland. Backed into the corner. Puts it up top to Bledsoe. Spin move inside. The layup. No good. And collected by Martin. Here's Green. He'll pull up on him and knock it down. Game tied at 72. So Gerald Green coming off the bench and bringing much needed relief here for the Jets in the third quarter. Down by as much as 9. Here's Deng. Trying to drive inside. Gets it to Antetokounmpo under the basket. He draws the shot and the foul. If and ones were kept as an individual statistic, and they actually are starting to in terms of advanced statistics, this has to be a record just across all forms of basketball, college, high school, pro. We've seen a lot of and one opportunities here, though it's been hit or miss on rather not players have capitalized on them. Antetokounmpo does just that, and London back ahead by 3. Under 2 minutes left here in the third. Here's DeRozan facing up. He's got a little space on Giannis, but kicks it back up top to Kobe. Kobe against Kelenna. This is the exact matchup Stuart Gibbs wanted, and Kelenna wins it out. Bledsoe trying to push it ahead on the fast break. Williams was with him every step of the way. Ball kicked out to Mirotic. Up top, Bledsoe. Bledsoe's going to try to attack the basket again. Fighting his way inside. Tries to shoot it over Williams, and he'll draw the foul. So that'll be the first personal foul on D. Will. But as I was saying, on the other side of the court, Stuart Gibbs started Kelenna Azubuike with the expectation of Kobe starting, and he figured that Kelenna was the best on-ball defender, on-ball defending shooting guard on his roster. He has Kim English, he has Giannis Antetokounmpo, who can start at that position. He has Dante Exum, who's a point guard, but can also play that position. And he felt like Kelenna was the best for the job, and he's done so-so. Kobe has shot very well, but it's not like Bryant's running roughshod, as he would probably with some of the other players that come out on the floor to guard him over the course of the game. Here's that matchup again with a little over 1 minute remaining. Here's Evans back up top. Deron driving on Bledsoe. Shoots over and can't convert, but Faried tries to put it back up. Didn't keep track of where he was. By the time he hooked it up, he realized he was behind the basket. So that'll hit off the backboard. That'll be out of bounds on Lehigh Valley. London able to play damage control. Gerald Green was able to bring the game to a 72-all tie. But London has answered back with 4 points. And it'll remain 4 points as Mirotic misses the shot. Bryant over to Williams. Deron Williams bringing Lehigh Valley back within 1. Under 30 seconds now in the third quarter. London hanging on to a 1-point lead. Deng zooms past Jeremy Evans and is able to lay it in. Deng was just hanging out in the corner. Evans thought he had them all figured out, and then Deng gets the ball and just uses that first step to go to the basket. Deron Williams can't answer back with a 3 that would have tied it, and that will do it for the third quarter. So it looked like London was going to pull away there, but we're back to a good old-fashioned close game. London still hanging on to a slight lead heading into the fourth. Final quarter of regulation here from London as we close out week 2 of the CBL season, this 10-game campaign. Mirotic glides in, misses. James tried to put it back, but that one was stuffed. And then it heads out of bounds, but not before bumping up against Bledsoe. And then it just went out of bounds. So Lehigh Valley will inbound it from the backcourt. Here's Phil Pressey up the floor. Jeff Seymour wanted Phil because he was just as good as a passer in the same vein as Deron. And Gerald Green, unafraid, knocks down the 2, brings Lehigh Valley back within 1. That's how we'll start off the fourth quarter. Mirotic trying to work his way around Evans. Shoots over and knocks it down. Sometimes if you can't go through it, you go over it. And that worked out for Mirotic. 18 lead changes, 12 ties, and London, once upon a time, had a really big lead at 9. That's all gone. Kobe knocks down the jumper. 17 points out of Kobe tonight. So he's back in Kobe-esque form as he's more than double his point total from last week against Kansas City. Here's Bledsoe. Kicks it over to James. Posting up here against Faried. Shoots over Faried and knocks it down. In the corner, here's Gerald Green. Bounce pass down low to Evans. Evans against Mirotic. And Evans was walking that tightrope there on the baseline and got a little too close, so that's out of bounds on him. .957 left in the fourth. Schroeder fighting his way inside, gets it over to Freeland, and he's able to draw the foul. That'll be on Martin. Martin's fourth.
At the line for London, Joel Freeland. At the line for 2.
Freeland only scoring a single point in that loss to Omaha. In his defense, he was taking on guys like Nikola Vucevic and Nerlens Noel and Greg Monroe. So it was a rough day at the office, to be sure, for Freeland. Second shot just as good. 84-79. Here's Kobe. Finds Green, who finds an opening, goes inside, gets the contact, can't get the 2. Luol Deng called for his 4th foul. All 4 of his fouls have come in the second half.
2 shots.
Second free throw just as good. Brings Lehigh Valley within 3. 9:30 remaining in the fourth. Mirotic dealing with Faried. Time running out. Here's Schroeder. Puts it up, misses, and pulled down by Green. Ball ahead to Kobe. Time for him to go to work. Works it over to Green and gets it back. Green in the corner. In and out. Rebound by Faried. He'll go up. Doesn't get the foul call, but able to get the 2. 1 point game. Here's Schroeder. London running a set. Post touch down low. Mirotic shoots past Faried and is able to convert. 17 points for Mirotic. As I was saying earlier, Stuart Gibbs, he did not want to leave Chandler Parsons on the bench. But Nikola Mirotic just making it hard for Gibbs to do otherwise, as he saw what Mirotic had to offer in the preseason and in training camp. Had to give him at least the start just to see how he works out. And in both games, he's done very well, even in the big loss to Omaha. Azubuike not able to finish off. Green just went in unimpeded, but wasn't able to finish the job. London up by 3. Here's Schroeder, guarded by Bryant. Azubuike for 3. We might be seeing some shot fatigue out of Kelenna. He's scoreless here in the second half after putting up 14, including 2 3-pointers in the first half. Deron Williams able to bring Lehigh Valley within 1. Timeout called. London still up by 1. Stuart Gibbs wants to make sure that London does stay up with 7:16 left in the fourth. Freeland set the inbound. 1 point game, 7:16 left in the fourth. Mirotic up top to Azubuike, driving the lane, wide open. How's that for shot fatigue? As he's able to go in just fine. He hasn't been able to knock down his last 2 3-pointers. But when he saw an opening in the lane, how could he not take advantage? So timeout now for Lehigh Valley and Jeff Seymour. Make sure they don't get too far ahead. 7 minutes left in the fourth. Next game's up for both teams. Here they are, London hosting Lehigh Valley for their first home game of the season, but they're back on the road stateside next week to take on Kansas City 1 week from today. Meanwhile, Lehigh Valley opens up the week 3 at home hosting Omaha. Both of those games will be on the Coliseum Sports Network. Here's Deron Williams. Shoots outside the post. Faried puts it back up and waved that off. That's a loose ball foul on Kenyon Martin, and that is his 5th. So a shot that could have put Lehigh Valley down by 1. Martin redeeming himself. Here he is on the run. He takes off and puts it down with 2 hands. So he's running up and down this court with 5 fouls, but he at least redeems himself for a play as he's able to put Lehigh Valley within 1. Mirotic driving against Faried, pulls up and can't get the 2, but he'll go to the line.
At the line for London, Nikola Mirotic. 2 shots.
First shot up and good. And the second one in puts London up by 3. They've been hanging on to a thread all game, only been able to burst out to a major lead for only a short period of time when London went up by as much as 9. But otherwise, it's been a close game throughout. First foul on Bledsoe, trying to reach in against Kenyon Martin. Just under 6 remaining. Gerald Green can't convert. Here's Azubuike. Here's Chandler Parsons trying to go to work. Runs back out to the perimeter. Azubuike forces it up, in and out. Rebound by Faried. And the miss by Faried. Here's Parsons pushing it, even though there was plenty of jets there to stop the fast break. Here's Bledsoe, works it over. Mirotic. Couple of shimmy moves. Baseline jumper, good. .444 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Bryant ready to go to work, lays it up and in. Back down to a 3-point game. Mirotic launches, and it clangs off the rim. Bryant trying to work his way past Parsons. There's his chance, and he'll draw the foul. And that bounces around and in. The free throws bring Lehigh Valley back within 1. Here's the pass to Mirotic. Gets it over Freeland. Back to Mirotic. Against Faried. And misses. Rebound by Kobe. Martin up top, works it over Faried. Out pops DeRozan. And Faried knocks down the 3-point shot. 12 points, 11 rebounds for Kenneth Faried. He let that clock run down. He stagnated that offense, but apparently he knew something we did not. Lehigh Valley takes a 2-point lead. And that's got to hurt worse than any dagger until Chandler Parsons knocks down the 3 to take the lead back. Here's Martin. And Parsons trying to come around and steal it. Got a little greedy there. That's his third personal foul. Still a 1-point game. Williams launches, three-pointer. Back to a 2-point lead for Lehigh Valley. And now it's become a tug of war. Mirotic posting up, and there's a reach-in foul. And that's the 5th on Faried. So a timeout called here, 1:56 left in the 4th. This one's going to go down to the very end. Don't go anywhere. .156 left in the 4th. Freeland inbounds to Bledsoe. London down by 2. Freeland under the basket converts. And Lehigh Valley instantly calls timeout. 97 all, 150 left in the 4th quarter. Kenyon Martin set to inbound for Lehigh Valley. He'll find Bryant. Bryant almost had an easy path to the basket, stopped by Azubuike. Works it over to Deron Williams. Kobe trying to force the issue again. Gets it out to DeRozan. He comes in from the perimeter. No look pass to Martin. He'll go up against Freeland and convert. The Jets have had a slight lead inside, 46-36 plus 10. And then Bledsoe throws away the pass to Faried. Deron Williams ahead to DeRozan, pulls up as opposed to attacking the basket, and he misses. Here's London the other way. Parsons to Bledsoe. Bledsoe guarded by Bryant. Works back up to the point. Gonna try again. Goes up and draws the foul. Gonna have to earn those 2 at the line. That's the 5th personal foul on Kobe Bryant. Oh my, Kobe getting into it with somebody. It's him and DeRozan talk it out. Seems like cooler heads that prevail. Here's Bledsoe. Gets the first one. Second free throw just as good. It is all tied up at 99. Under a minute remaining. Here come the Jets. London gonna have to work for their first win of the season. Hands it off. Faried under the basket and lays it in. And there was like a small pause there. Faried trying to figure out what to do, or just so surprised that he had the ball under the basket so easily. Mirotic can't get the runner, gets his own shot, blocked by Faried, and that'll go out of bounds. London will keep it, but Faried sending the message. Deng will inbound, 34.2 left in regulation, and he'll kick it over to Mirotic. Hands it off to Azubuike, just holding on to the ball, kicks it out to Bledsoe. They have some time to work with on the shot clock. Don't need a 3, just need a A two-pointer to tie things up. Azubuike's going to go for three anyway. And that proves to be costly as Williams will get the ball and draw the foul. Didn't have to go for three. But Kelenna couldn't help himself at the top of the key. He was knocking those down back in the first half. Thought he still had it in him. With 14.9 seconds, this could possibly do it if Deron Williams hits both free throws. Let's see if he gets the first one. He got it. Second one just as good. 4-point lead, 14.9 on the clock. Mathematically improbable, but not impossible. We'll see what London has up their sleeves after this timeout. .14 9/10 of a second remaining here in the fourth quarter. London set to inbound on their side of the floor. Here's Bledsoe. We'll see if they'll just attack inside. Nope, they work their way outside. Mirotic goes for it, knocks down the three. So within one with 6.8 on the clock. Like I said, mathematically improbable, but not impossible. We'll see if Lehigh Valley is able to run out the clock. 6.8 left in the fourth. .8 seconds left here in regulation. Lehigh Valley inbounding. Tight inbound D for London. They'll find Kobe, and they're just going to let him go. They aren't. They just had a hard time intentionally fouling. So 3.5 seconds. They do get their hands on Faried. There's a moment there I was worried that London was just going to concede the loss, and that's not something you want to do when you only have 10 games in a season. But they didn't. They just had to get to the right shooter. Faried misses the first one. And gets the second one. 3.5 left here in the fourth quarter. Gonna have to run down the court, and he just launches it 3/4 court. Not on target, and London will fall to 0-2. Lehigh Valley is your first place leader in the Eastern Conference after 2 weeks. So that'll do it for week 2 action here in the CBL. We thank you for joining us this week, and we hope you enjoyed these games. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen.